Hi, and welcome to Hypothetically Intentional, where we ask the question, what if we set intentions with everything we do? I'm your host, Michelle Albers, and today we have back with us again, Josh Aronovich. And Josh was missing in the layover in South Korea for the podcast that we recorded last week. And I just really wanted to connect with you, Josh, and talk to you about your experience in Chiang Mai. And, I know you had to leave a little early. However, I feel like there's something about Chiang Mai and our hosts that perhaps you didn't leave feeling slighted or
Not
feeling
at all.
less.
I There's always an element of FOMO, fear of missing out, but in reality, every day in Chiang Mai was absolutely magical and whole and complete in and of itself.
Mm,
So whether I was there for 9 days or whether I would have been there for 15 days, in the end doesn't make a difference
yeah.
because each day, each moment is unique. Each day, each moment is priceless. And I was exactly where I needed to be, when and where I needed to be there. I got home in time to celebrate my dad's second bar mitzvah at age 83. I was home to host Thanksgiving, but I spent an incredible magical time getting to know the people, the feel, the elephants. Oh my God, the elephants and dogs, the temple dogs. There are so many incredible creatures in addition to awesome humans in Chiang Mai. And I know I'll be back, but even if I wasn't going to be back, I knew no, I would take a piece of Chiang Mai with me.
Yeah. It's amazing. You mentioned the elephants. Can we just start there?
Yes.
Was that your favorite part?
I think
I mean,
so.
it's hard
Yeah.
to say favorite.
It's
I know that's
it's
like a
hard, but
big
yeah.
ask, but
Yeah, I think so. That's in many ways the most memorable part. So I have always had an affinity for animals and connecting with them in empathy and solidarity and just feeling their energy. So to be able to literally hug elephants all day was incredible. And yeah, I mean, everybody else was sort of like at a distance, sort of a respectful distance, given their size, their strength. I was like right up next to them with my arm around them or massaging them during the pictures and everything. It's just, there is such majesty.
Mm.
And I think that elephants show that strength doesn't have to be harsh or cruel, that
Mm.
strength can be gentle and kind and wise and even soft.
Gosh, you just brought me right to a Thai massage thing. That is such a weird connection that I would not have anticipated like having. Um, one of my instructors and practitioners said that once. He was like, people think if you're a bigger person, you need more power. He's like, but that's not where the power comes from. Like, and he pointed to his heart and he's like, the power comes from here.
Yes,
And
it's energy.
sometimes gentle is a more massive power than
Mhm.
force, so to speak. And that's what I
Sure,
just
because
heard you say about the
brute
elephants.
force makes people bring their walls up
Yeah.
physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
Whereas a softer, gentler, kinder approach that makes people feel safe allows you to get deeper,
Yeah.
whether in massage or in relationships.
I love that that's your observation about the elephants because they are such big, powerful creatures that have so much strength that could be
Mhm.
destructive and is at times, right? If they're protecting themselves or
Yeah,
things
or if they're
are
made to feel unsafe.
exactly. But in that space, these are all rescued elephants. This is a sanctuary that's giving them a better life
And they're treated well there, and they
and
know
they're
that they're
cared
safe, they know
for.
that they're loved.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love the interactions between the elephants, the dogs, the cattle.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah, there were probably about 20, 30 dogs that lived on this elephant sanctuary. There was a herd of skinny, scrawny cattle that were trying to eat the elephant's food, and then the dogs weren't having any of it. So the dogs were just yipping around and barking and biting at the ankles of the cows because they were doing something they weren't supposed to. And it was
Yeah.
absolutely hysterical. I think I was the only one that went over and pet the cows, though.
And then throw humans into it.
Yeah.
All the creatures.
I mean, it's almost like the humans are an afterthought, though.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, they're not part of I
Hmm.
mean, they're part of it in that they care for the animals, but
Right.
like it's the animals' place.
Hmm.
Like we're visitors, we're
Yeah,
guests, you know?
definitely.
Yeah, which was cool. Okay, so elephants was a magical day. And it was. I mean, there's every time I've gone to the Elephant Nature Park,
Mhm.
the look on people's faces and the energy that exudes from them is literally magical. It's a beautiful thing to witness and to be part of and to experience for myself as well.
One of
So,
my favorite philosopher theologians is Abraham Joshua Heschel. And he was friends with Martin Luther King. He wrote a lot about faith and God and man and God. But one of the phrases that really struck with me from reading him is this concept of radical amazement.
mm,
When you just look at someone or something in the universe and are just, wow. And I
yeah,
think
like
that's what elephants evoke, is that sense of radical amazement.
yeah, that's a great. I love that phrase. I mean, it is. There's like a speechless awe and wonder that comes in, like for me personally, where I'm just like, I don't have any words right now, but I have like this immense emotion of, I think it's love and compassion and wonderment that I can't even describe with words, but it's such a beautiful energy to be in.
It's just an energetic overflowing of the heart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay, elephants. Speechless, amazing experience. Tell me more about like, did you have sort of an idea of what Chiang Mai might bring for you? Like, did you have
No,
any
I had no clue.
surprises?
My intention going in was just to be open to
Mm,
whatever the experience had to offer me,
yeah.
because I don't always know why I feel drawn to something,
Mm,
but when I do, and I trust it and I lean into it.
yeah.
And that's in part of my journey, my growth is trusting to lean into my intuition and not always having to know why, but knowing who and knowing what
Yeah.
and knowing where.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I just think like that's a great like state to be in to walk
Mhm.
into Chiang Mai because like welcome to Thailand. You never really know what's going to happen here,
Yeah.
you know?
No, there
And
was definitely a sense of going with the flow and wherever the wind blows us, but that's my normal state. So that wasn't really an adjustment for me.
yeah.
I find that the things that I can and should control are my own emotional and mental state. And if I control that, whatever happens in the external is going to be for my highest and best. I don't need to try to control that.
Yeah. Beautiful. Did you have like a, I don't know. I'm trying to formulate the question in my head. I like for me when I came back from Chiang Mai the first time, I just saw like my day-to-day life in a new lens. I'm not even sure how to describe it, but I just remember thinking I don't want to show up in a way where I'm always in such a hurry and in such a structure. Like it released something for me, like a version of surrendering that I hadn't experienced before. Did you have any sort of things like that within this experience or
Not really, because I was already that was an epiphany I'd already had.
yeah.
And my life really doesn't have a ton of structure or rigidity to it. I've intentionally created a life where I am able to flow and I do include space for myself.
Hmm.
And yeah, I have clients scheduled at particular times and I meet those clients at those times, but those times can be different on different days. And if I'm really not feeling it, I have clients that I have great relationships with that I can reach out to and reschedule and move things around. So I
That's a
think,
beautiful way to honor yourself
yeah,
and your
that's something that I already have had and already do.
yeah.
So for me, I think the main difference coming back from Chiang Mai is, and folks who know me will laugh at this, is an even greater openness to experience new experiences. I've always been an explorer, an adventurer, someone who's open to new things. But the fact that I'm now going to Egypt on like 4 days' notice is insane even for me. Um,
Yeah.
but I feel like energetically, it's the next logical step. After
Yeah.
being in Chiang Mai, there's something there for me, the people, the place, and I'm curious and open to what it's going to be.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I think like when people first go to Chiang Mai who've never been there before, and I say people, I'm thinking about my previous trip where like my kids
Sure.
came with me. And my kids were like,
Mhm.
"Mom, you just didn't like it's so different than home." And I was like, "Yes." And they were like, "I just feel like I don't remember exactly how they said it, but I took it to mean like I could have like helped them prepare better. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I kind of don't know how to describe what it is that Chiang Mai is and how to navigate it other than to just drop in and experience it.
I think
Um,
part of it, and part of it that's probably a culture shock for some, is just the abundance of stimuli.
yeah,
The smells, the sounds, the tastes, the sights, that you're going to temples that are filled with gold and jewels and colors and a ride of color. You're in markets that have incredible tastes and so many options and so many possibilities that are unfamiliar yet tantalizing. So I think that's part of it. But I've always been adventurous when it comes to tastes and sights and smells. So that to me felt like going home.
yeah. Yeah, and that you bring up a good point because Dan and I were talking about that, and I think we talked about it at the airport too, is like, Thailand, we can say there's going to be downtime and you're going to have time to relax, but really Chiang Mai is active relaxation.
Mhm.
Like there's always an opportunity to go and do something, and it's
Sure.
rare to just sit around with your feet up and, and just chill. It's not that you can't do that, and there is time for that, but
No, you
there were
can, but it
just so
requires
many.
either waking up early or staying up late.
Yeah, because there's just so many opportunities for like,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna go do this thing, or hey, we're gonna, meet at this time, but we don't know what we're doing. We just know we're doing
Yeah.
something because amazing things are about to happen. We just don't know what.
Yeah. I didn't have as much of that space by choice because I chose to work during the trip.
Yeah,
So most mornings I had clients from 6 to 7:30 local time.
yeah. Oh yeah, so you missed like the morning, like, hey, let's walk to the market and
Yeah.
go check out this or that. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. Um, yeah, I was actually proud of myself. I like cleared my schedule and decided to take a vacation, even though like it wasn't, I mean, I was there working, right? But
Right.
it was a different kind of working. And
Sure.
I like, you know, took care of my other things back home so I could be dropped in fully present in Chiang Mai.
Yeah, that wasn't fully an option for me
Yeah.
because I had new clients that I was just starting with that were
Yeah.
taking the SATs actually this coming Saturday. So to take
Yeah.
those 15 days where I was in South Korea and Chiang Mai and not serve them wouldn't have been responsible and wouldn't have been what they needed.
Right.
So I think I
Exactly.
was able to sort of be fully present while also being there for my people too.
Yeah. And what I loved about me choosing to take the time, and I had a lot of conversations beforehand to make sure everything was good, let everybody know that they can absolutely reach out to me. And what I realized in Chiang Mai is I really loved my job and I missed my people. Like I
Mhm.
loved the people I was with there and I loved being in Chiang Mai and dropped fully in present. I was very grateful
Yeah.
for the opportunity to do that. And it was like there was like this, oh, I haven't talked to, so and so in a while and I'm missing them. And
Mhm.
it's like there was a whole group of people that was true for. So I kind of love the
Yeah,
duality of that, of like,
absolutely.
missing
Giving
things
yourself the
makes
gift of missing them. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Do you have any, I don't know, like things that you feel would be helpful for people considering going on a future trip to Chiang Mai, specifically with Dan and I mean, right? Like
Yeah.
specifically with this group. I feel like it's a
Yeah. A
different
few
kind of
things.
trip, but
Number one, if you feel called to do something, find a way to say yes instead of reasons to say no. In
hmm,
life, we tend to regret the things we don't do far more than the things we do.
yeah,
Yes, it costs money, but we can always make more money. We can always find ways to create more abundance. Don't let that be the reason you don't do something that calls to your soul. The
yeah,
other is that there are magical places and there are magical people. And when the two come together, that is exponentially incredible. And that's what this trip is. Michelle and Dan are magical human beings, are incredible people that I'm honored to call friends. They have a way of making you feel like you're enveloped in a warm hug the entire trip, that you feel supported and loved and cared for, but also given the space to be you and do you. And then Kune, who hosts us, is one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met. She has so many stories. She has such a playful sense of life, of wonder, but she's also a total badass. And the way she moves into a room like she owns it is just awe-inspiring to see. So I think the opportunity to spend time with her alone is worth the trip.
Yeah, thank you for bringing her into it. Because when you said Dan and I were magical and we feel like a hug, I'm like, I feel like Kune plays a big, big part in that as well. Because she just has this, she does. It's like she just brings you in and invites you home, and you're in this, you're
She
wrapped
makes
in
you family.
her arms, and yes, and it's just like beautiful. And that was amplified. And I think it was partially just because our group was so, I mean, y'all were magical. I mean, it really was a magical place, magical people, magical time. Um, I don't know. I'm so freaking grateful,
Mhm.
which is amazing. I've never, Thailand has a special place in my heart. Obviously, anybody who knows me and has talked to me for briefly, even about Thailand, knows that it's like it's a thing for me. And there was a part of me that like I resisted bringing other people there because it's my space and it's my place and it's where I
Yeah.
decompress and it's where I reset. And I was a little bit worried that like I would have to, quote unquote, work in such a way that would take away
That
that
you
opportunity for
taint it.
me.
You're sort of you're bringing bustle and responsibility into your safe place. Yeah.
I was like, well, I still have the ability to
Mm.
have a healthy boundary if I need space. And I absolutely was able to do that. And so, and
Yeah.
it was the perfect group to dance
Mhm.
that dance for the first time
Yeah.
with, you know?
Awesome.
And so I'm really grateful how it played out and everyone who showed up. And yeah, I don't know. I went in with an intention, which I always do. And I went in with some of our dates were immovable, but a loosely
Yeah.
based schedule, leaving openings for the magic that is Chiang Mai and Kune
Mhm.
and her staff to
Right.
happen. And I had no idea how incredibly large that would get. It was amazing. I was just like, whoa,
Yes.
what is happening right now? It was just such a
She just
cool
took us under
experience.
her wing. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I love about that is she does it in a way that it's not like we're having an American experience in Thailand.
Oh,
We
no,
are
no.
having a Thailand experience in
Yes.
Thailand with
Exactly.
with her, and the others in the space bringing us into their world and their culture and their, you know,
Yeah. I love
like
the fact that many of the places we went there were not many tourists.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. So cool.
And I think that definitely that's the way to travel is to be hosted by people that not only know the place, but are of the place and in the place and
Yeah.
that are part of the energy of the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was magical having you there. You were a big, huge part of it. It was lovely. There were so many times we were like, Josh is missing it. We miss Josh.
Oh,
But also,
interesting.
it's like I say things like that and I'm like, but like you said, you weren't missing anything. You were exactly where you needed to
Mhm.
be. And you're not missing it. Like you got everything you needed for this trip in Chiang Mai. And you were exactly where you needed to be while we were still doing other things in Chiang Mai. You were doing
I
what
think
was for
Western
you.
culture teaches us that more is more.
Truth.
And that's not necessarily true. And in fact, I mean, that's why I'm 80 pounds more than I should be, is because I think when I'm tasting something wonderful, oh, if it's good, I should have more of it. But sometimes one spoon of something wonderful is enough.
Yeah.
You don't need more to fully appreciate and enjoy and cherish it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one of the lessons that I'm going to try to take to heart.
Beautiful. Gosh, the whole time you were saying that, I'm like, oh, I'm such a, such a, like, all I could think is, I just want more fruit. Like, which is the exact, like, I'm totally proving what you're saying. Like,
Yep.
more is more, but like, fruit in Minnesota this time of year sucks.
So you know what you do instead? Dried fruit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have some dried
Yeah,
fruit.
may I suggest my Thanksgiving salad?
Yeah.
It's baby spinach. Get corn on the cob and like blister the corn like in a skillet. So it's like sort of charred a little bit and cut
Yeah.
the corns off the cob into the salad. Add dried cranberries, reduce sugar, pistachios, lightly salted. Get dried mango with no added sugar and slice it in thin slices.
I don't
And
have
then
to get it. I
slice,
brought it back from Thailand.
yeah, and slice red, yellow, and orange peppers in the similar size slices.
Nice.
And then you make a dressing of olive oil, fresh squeezed lemon juice, and really good quality maple syrup.
Oh, nice. Well, I have also like maple syrup that my parents made, like
Nice.
from their property. So,
Awesome. Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's one of the
Well,
best
that
flavor
sounds
combinations.
good.
Yeah, so I made a ton of that for Thanksgiving, and then I call it my Thanksgiving salad. And
Nice.
then I had it the leftovers the last few days. So that was breakfast yesterday.
Nice. Our Thanksgiving salad was a new Thai dish I had never had
Ooh.
called yum moo. It was a pork salad that was
Mm,
ridiculously good.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, beautiful. This feels like a good old Chiang Mai wrap up. Anything else
Mhm.
you want to add?
Only thing I would add is when we really look back at a life well lived, what the Greeks call eudaimonia, happiness sort of at the end. I think what we will find the most joy and comfort in is the relationships and connections that we've built.
Mm.
And one of the best ways to form really strong relationships is to share experiences with people and travel.
Oh,
When
you're
we
speaking to
get
my
out
heart.
of our comfort zone and go somewhere new with new people, we learn more about each other and more about ourselves, and we grow that relationship in a way that can't be accomplished in other ways. So if you have the opportunity to do that, do it.
I love it. You're speaking to my language. Experience, I'm all about experiences. I don't
Mhm.
know when that shifted for me, but I definitely, there was a line where I got to where I was like, I don't want things. I want
Yeah,
experiences with people I love and care about.
definitely.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, my friend. Hey, it's so good to see you. It's funny. It's like you left Chiang Mai. I just got back literally, what was
Mhm.
that, yesterday? What day is it? Monday,
It's Monday.
Saturday. I think we got home on Saturday. I'm not even sure. And I'm like, it feels like it's been years since I've seen you.
Yeah, yeah. So you
Oh,
guys got back a week after I did. So I got back Saturday, the previous Saturday morning.
yeah. And it feels like it's been years. It's like you
Oh, it
drop in
does.
together in Chiang Mai and you hang
Yeah.
out day, breakfast,
I mean,
lunch,
it feels like
dinner.
it's yesterday and it feels like it's been 10 years, both at the same
Yeah.
time.
Exactly. Well, I wish you an amazing journey to Egypt. I can't wait to
Thank
hear
you.
about that when you get
I'm
back
so
and
excited for
and
this.
all of your other travels that you have wrapping up this
Mhm.
year. And I thank you for sharing your experience and your time and for saying yes to living like a local with us. It was beautiful having you join us.
It was an
It was a
honor.
great
It was
launch.
a pleasure. It was just wonderful. I will cherish these memories for the rest of my life, and I can't wait till the next opportunity to travel with you guys again.
Me too. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Josh. I
Bye.
think that's a wrap. Bye. Be you every day.